Alrighty, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and paddle, rise and drive. This is Normal Bill on Normal Bill TV. I know it says Crazy Bill in the corner right here, but it's really normal. Normal people sleep in. uh, Normal people do the 11 o'clock trip or the 1 o'clock trip. No one ever does the 8 or 9 o'clock trip. No one does a triple load. Only do 2 loads because you're a class 2 plop and dropper. Once you drop 2 loads, it's time to call it quits and hang out at Lunch Beats or the local watering hole when you're done on a Friday or a Saturday. So I want to talk to you today about what's called cubic feet per second. That's how we measure whitewater. So it was derived by a guy way back in the day, and it wasn't even like technology. It was through a ditch is how it was found. Water was flowing through a ditch, and because you can measure the width, the height, and then so because you can measure two distances, you can measure the width and you measure the height of water. That tells you how much flow is going through it, because the higher that is, like obviously the more cubic feet per second it is, and that's how it was originally figured out. I don't know who the person was. I should know this, but that's how it was done. It was actually almost if you look it up, it's through like in an irrigation ditch is how it was found out, how they figured out cubic feet per second. So in the boating world, cubic feet per second is a lot, because that's where we get all of our ranges with American whitewater, where they use like low, medium, high, and above recommended. So, and that's for safety purposes to let you know what you're getting into. And also depends on the craft that you're taking. If it's above recommended, you probably should be in a creature crab. If it's like in the green, what they call in the green, which means is a go, then you can usually take anything. And then if it's low, usually you want to take like smaller boats, just so because you're going to be in a rock garden usually. So because usually you're going to play rock dodge through rock gardens. I've done super low before. I've done a 285 CFS Three Forks to Rome, which is on the Oahe. And Ian, who I took with me, goes, everything I read says this only goes down to 600. And we're doing 280. We thought it was 300, but actually it got to 285. And when we got to put in, we're like, oh man, we're going to have the whole place to ourselves. No, we didn't have the whole place to ourselves. We had not one, but 2 class 2 plop and drop dropped on the put in beach. They were doing Lunch Beach at Put in Beach because it was too low, because they were doing some political work for advocacy for water rights and access. American Whitewater was with 2 or 3 other nonprofit organizations of those type organizations where they do political action and action to get us more access to the water, access and better put-ins and different things of that nature. So, and remove dams so we get more water, free the fish. Remember, we got to free the fish. Got to free the fish. Phish. If you're as old as I am, that's how we spell fish. The band Fish. So, yeah. So cubic feet per second is a big thing. Yeah, like at low water, it's like I said, it's a drag. It can be a drag fest. Like I know friends that have done the Illy at like 100 or 200 CFS. And of course, they were in duckies, and yeah, it's glorified backpacking with your backpack in a ducky that you pull along the river. You're walking in the water, so walking on the water, you're almost walking on the water when you're dragging a boat. So that's how you practice walking on the water. Super low river, super low CFS. Like I said, 100 CFS on the Illy. It's been done at 100. Some people are like, oh, that's the lowest it's been done at 100. Usually about 500 to 700 is the cutoff for like a round boat or a cat boat. And that's even a smaller boat, like 12 to 14. You don't want to be taking those 16 or 18 foot pigs down the river, which you can. I mean, whatever you want to stuff. I mean, whatever you take. This is why you want to know the water level, so it knows what you're getting into. Same thing when we did the Oahe at 285. We were only going to do 3 nights, 4 days, and Ian's like, let's do 4 nights, 5 days. And I'm glad we did, because half-mile rapid turned into 20-mile rapid. We broke it up into 3 sections. We had to scout it. Never been in there before. So, and half-mile rapid probably took 2 hours and maybe an hour and a half between us pulling off, walking a third, scout, run to an eddy, pull off, get up on a rock, look, say we're going to there, boat to that point, get out, catch each other, get up on a rock, look again. And then, yeah, so it took an hour and a half or 2. And at high water, this is where, like I said, CFS, low water, high water makes CFS differences, is that you never got out. It'd been, hey, diddle, diddle, right down the middle. You'd have just been looking for the tongues. In low water, it's harder to find tongues. But at the same point, you always do follow the water. The water will take you home. So, yeah, so CFS is a big thing. Like I said, it's circular feet per second. And it's usually on American whitewater. They always have the gauge for the flow. And they have colors. It's like red is a no-go because it's too low. And then green is an optimal level. And blue is what they call above recommended. So, but blue is for creature craft level. So there is no above recommended for creature crafts. Although there's holes that you can get into that you can be in for 25 minutes and get your, you can get your beadering badge through the Boy Scouts. When you're in there for 25 minutes, you get your beadering badge. So it looks like a baseball bat across your face. That's why you're supposed to wear a full face helmet. So I know raft guides to a raft guide don't teach that, but Karen, the Swiftwater rescue trainer, she teaches that you should wear your full face helmet. So while you're beadering and taking oars to the face and a paddle to the teeth and all kinds of other things, that's why you wear a full face helmet. The bigger and gnarlier it gets, the more protection you want. So, and the more flotation you want. That's another thing. Like I know some friends that when they go do the Grand, because the Grand's in theory a higher volume and bigger river, that they want a higher float life jacket, because the bigger the water. So as you go through class 3 waves, you don't go up the wave, you go through the wave. And so a high float life jacket is critical to keep your head above water. 7 pounds is what puts you like right at your lips, makes you zero out flat on water. And so most jackets are 15 or 17 pounds. It's usually the minimal. It's 15 to 17 pounds. But if you're over 200 pounds or you're 220, you probably want a 24 to 28 to 30 pound life jacket. Pounds afloat. That's what they mean by pounds afloat. So usually they're made in 24 to 28 pound range. And even on cataract, at high water, they double, not single, they double jacket customers because of the CFS and how big it is, because of Frog's Hole and Little Niagara. Yeah. Little Niagara. You want to swim in Little Niagara? No, they try to put as much flotation on a customer. So say that jacket is 15 or 20 pounds with the head float things. So say that's 20 pounds. They're putting 40 pounds afloat on a customer. And they're using what they call the leg straps that go through your thighs, that go up under your legs. So the jacket won't come up off over your head. Yeah, craziness. You got to be a little crazy to go on trips like that. So again, this is Bill Guy. I'm just talking about CFS, talking about boating. I love boating and all things boating. Everything, sup boards, river boards, cat boats, round boats, small boats, duckies, creature crafts, squirt boaters, play boaters, creekers, sladies. We love the sladies. Remember, clean teeth, clean lines. And as always, remember, it's always class 2, plop and drop until you swim.